More than a century and a half of history now sits in 2 trailer trucks in Queens, New York. What was once St. Saviour's Church is now piles of wood planks piled high, each being marked and numbered.
Think about all the people that were baptized here and all the people that were in this church for the 150 years or so. Think about all those people were married, the funerals, and then think about the history of this, how the community came together and built this church.
Bob Holden is leading the cause to preserve and find a permanent home for St. Saviour's after rescuing it from demolition in 2009. The church was once a stately country house of worship, one of the oldest in New York's Long Island, designed by Richard Upjohn, who also designed Trinity Wall Street in Lower Manhattan. But St. Saviour's succumbed to extreme industrialization. This is the spot where the church once stood. The land was originally deeded as a restricted covenant only, which means it should have been used for religious or community purposes. But bureaucratic loopholes through the years allowed the last owner to sell off the property, now worth millions, to a developer.
But certainly anybody who's interested in the past, the history of America, should certainly be interested in preserving this.
The plan now is to move and reassemble the church on donated land at All Faiths Cemetery a mile or so away. The church would become a science and education center, but also a chapel the cemetery could use, since the ground on which it would stand is unfit for burials.
If you can't bury it, it's just an empty lot. Serves no purpose. But it really would be great for the community at large.
Holden says it's not just about saving an old building, but preserving a community's legacy.
It's a very, very important part of the history of New York City and the history of churches around the country, because it was really a model for churches in the rural areas of America.
In Queens, New York, Lauren Green, Fox News.